In the season just gone, So You Think was runner-up in the champion Australian Sires title, and there's every reason to believe that soon that honour will be his. As well as being a super broodmare sire, dam sire of this year's Golden Slipper winner Fireburn, attention is now turning to the sire sons of So You Think, including the gorgeous and speedy Peltzer at Twin Hills Stud near Cootamundra in New South Wales. He's also part of my latest breeding experience with thoroughbreds, throwing a beautiful filly foal. I've been lucky enough in my experience in the breeding industry to have my own mare, to have bred 3 foals who all raced. I've pinhooked a weanling that went through the English Classic sale and has raced successfully as Rock Artist. But this is the first time I've bred a foal with the intention of selling. And this little filly hiding around the back there is by the gorgeous Peltzer here at Twin Hills Stud out of Mega Mall. And I'd like to take you through the experience of having a new foal all the way through to the yearling sales and beyond. It's such a magnificent thing seeing a foal that you're involved with, you know, for the first time, and it means so much to your owners and clients when you send that message through that there's a lovely new arrival on the ground.
Yes, for the owners it can be years in the making. Often someone's thinking for a year about where they're going to send their mare, and then it's another year for the mare to have the foal after she's been bred to the stallion. So there's a lot of emotional effort that goes into the production of a foal. So it's lovely when you get to call the owner and tell them that they've got a healthy foal, and you know, they're always nice calls to make. Well,
we're here, of course, talking about Peltzer, just an outstanding type, and I just loved his determination as a racehorse. But it's so wonderful to see the first of the Peltzers on the ground.
Yeah, and for someone who stands a stallion, obviously there is great expectation as to what their first foals are going to be like, and there's lots of chat around the industry as to what the first foals of each stallion, you know, how they're looking. So for us, you know, Peltzer, obviously his first foal's hitting the ground this spring, and we're very pleased with them. They're very in his mould, which is fabulous because he's a really lovely horse, a powerful, good-looking, athletic horse. So his foals, you know, so far they give us the same impression.
Yeah, well, looking at him here today, I mean, his coat is incredible, but the power behind, you know, he's just such a lovely example of, you know, a speedy, So You Think, but, you know, he looks as if he has the versatility to throw horses that'll get out at 2, as he did, of course, unbeaten as a 2-year-old, and then sort of maybe go on with it with his bloodlines.
Yeah, that's right. It's interesting because he's not, in his looks, he's not a typical So You Think. But having said that, he's obviously promoted as one of So You Think's fastest sons. So, look, hopefully he's got the best elements of his father, and that obviously, you know, one of the greatest racehorses Australia's ever had. But also his female pedigree. He's out of an elusive quality mare, and then in turn out of a flying spur mare. So there's plenty of speed on his dam side, and that was reflected in his racing career. Obviously, you know, an unbeaten 2-year-old in 3 starts, and then went on to win, you know, group races at 1,200 metres, 1,500 metres, and a $1 million race at a mile. He was an excellent racehorse. He is the most glorious looking horse, and it's really exciting that we've got some foals on the ground and lots to look forward to.
Peltzer's getting through now. Peltzer's starting to fly after Anders.
And as you mentioned, those 3 race wins as a 2-year-old. He started out at Kembla Grange and he gave the leaders a start that day, but he just raced straight past Anders to win. He was a bit green, but he showed those early signs of speed and determination.
Yeah, and just, I mean, if you just digest that, beating Anders over 1,000 metres at his first start, like that's good going. Anders was a very quick horse, as we know, but Peltzer was too good for him at his first start. And then, you know, another couple of starts over sprint distances as a 2-year-old, and, you know, winning 3 from 3 as a 2-year-old, including 2 in the city, that's no mean feat. He was a very, very good 2-year-old.
Yeah, those city wins were incredible, obviously. I think sometimes people underestimate how elite Sydney 2-year-old racing is. Saturday Metro racing is you know, it's world class.
Absolutely, and you know, if we look at as a commercial market, what we're trying to promote, or when we're trying to sell horses, people are looking for those horses who can race at the elite level, particularly as 2-year-olds. And Peltzer could do that, you know, and to a certain extent belied his pedigree, because being by So You Think, that's not necessarily what you would expect from them. So, yeah, he was a horse right out of the top draw.
It's Peltzer in front of Prime Star, the outside.
In the Stan Fox win, he came back, and this is a race won by some outstanding 3-year-old colts, and he could feel the challenging brigade sort of coming at him, but he just really knuckled down. So again, he had that instinct, the will to win.
Yeah, and I suppose that's what racing is about, isn't it? You've got to have a combination of speed and the will to win, and you know, they've got to want to do it. It's the great unknown, his heart. You know, he's versatile. He could run from off the speed, or he could lead. It was interesting, you know, noteworthy. He was a fantastic. His record at Randwick was outstanding, yes. And I think that, you know, on the one hand, you think, well, you know, he obviously didn't only win at Randwick, but on the one hand, you think, well, did he just like Randwick? But ultimately, the best racing in Australia, the strongest racing in Australia, is at Randwick. So for him to have won 5 races at Randwick is, you know, says a lot about him.
Absolutely. And of course then there was the $1 million Bondi, a heavy track again, and again he absolutely waltzed in. You know, it mightn't be a stakes race, but it may as well be.
Yeah, so look, any race where you're running for $1 million is going to be a strong field, and he won very, very well that day.
But Peltzer going through his gears, and he does it again.
And then, of course, he came back and won the Eskimo Prince Stakes, and that was first up, maintaining that great record at Randwick as well, beating the likes of Prague and North Pacific, and this time coming from off the pace.
Yeah, that's right. And look, over 1,200 metres, you probably expect him to, you know, maybe not have that speed that some of the others had over that distance, but he was still too good for some handy horses in Prague and North Pacific, as you said, and racing well fresh, which is interesting. You know, a horse, again, being by So You Think, that can come out and win at 1,200 metres first up, says a lot about how talented he was.
It's fabulous to be reunited with Megamall here. She's a lovely mare. She's been such a good mum, and this delightful foal by Peltzer. We're so proud of her already. What do you make of her?
Yes, well, as we say sometimes, Caroline, all foals are equal, but some are more equal than others. And this foal, which is part-owned by you, with some friends, she's a lovely filly. You know, first of the Peltzers, so it's very exciting to see any of them.
Yes.
And she's fairly typical so far. They've got lovely heads, plenty of leg, and a nice shape to them. You and I were just chatting before, and just said that, you know, Peltzer's such a lovely looking horse himself. And that's why we, as you know, having a stud, we're looking for horses like Peltzer who are good looking, who then are more likely to have good looking foals. So it's early days, but we're very happy with what we've seen in his progeny.
Yeah, that's right. And the head, she has Peltzer's head to a T. I mean, he's of course by the gorgeous So You Think, but he was a little, you know, he had that sort of dishy colt sort of head, and she has it too. It's really pretty or handsome on him.
At this stage, I'd say, like, they've all got lovely heads, the Peltzers, and that's important because, you know, people, you know, they're going to be good looking horses, I think. And certainly she is very much in the mould of her father.
She's sort of compact, but a bit of leg there as well.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about Peltzer. Obviously, he's by So You Think, so you would expect them to be, you know, So You Think's are big horses. Peltzer himself, body shape, is a very compact horse. He was obviously a yearling who was well sold. He was the highest priced yearling colt by So You Think of his year, and he was a good 2-year-old, won 3 out of 3 as a 2-year-old, and that is all reflected in his body shape and what he looks like. So obviously, if he can impart that to his progeny, we're in good shape.
Some of the other foals you have here by Peltzer are just stunning. I mean, a mare such as Majestic Music, who was a top filly of her generation, raced by the great South Australian breeder Harry Perks. Just a beautiful, beautiful type.
Yeah, that's right. And we've sent him some really nice mares, and friends of Twin Hills have sent him some really nice mares as well. So obviously, you know, mare quality is one half of the equation. And a mare like Majestic Music, she was an outstanding mare, winner of the Edward Manifold, and and a host of other group races. And his quality colt, a really nice looking colt, and so that's one we're really excited about.
And I just love this one, this colt from Demetria. He's a touch older than the others, but he's from a half-sister to a Blue Diamond winner, Samaretti, but he's so strong through the body and he's got plenty of spunk about him too.
Yeah, he's just a magnificent foal. He's just got the shape and the look, and you can just picture him, what he'll look like as a yearling. I think he could be something, in a year's time, could be looking very special. And interestingly, as to be expected, out of a sister to a Blue Diamond winner, he's built like a 2-year-old. So look, nice to see, and a foal that we really like.
And then we looked at this gorgeous filly from Cosmic Powers. She's a mare by not a single doubt. Her first foal by Piero is a stakes winner. And again, speedy sort of looking girl, as you'd expect looking at mum.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She's a really nice filly and a very well-bred filly. And again, indicative of some of the nice mares that have visited Peltzer. Again, looks sharp. She's strong. She's got, a lovely head and a good hindquarter and shoulder. And I think at an early stage with a stallion, there's only so much you can say about foals when they're a month old, except the Peltzers, they've all got nice heads, good hindquarters, and they're athletic. They move well. So that's nice to see it at a very early stage.
And then sadly, sometimes the mares die, and so we do have a beautiful foster mare doing a great job with a colt from Talisa. So the dam's a half to Nikita Jane, who of course was by So You Think, a Group 1 winner, and this sort of, taps back into that through Peltzer.
That's right, yeah. We had a mare called Talisa, Senator Peltzer, got a lovely colt, and then sadly when the foal was a couple of weeks old, we lost the mare. But look, happily, one of our neighbours, or sort of neighbours, John North at Bowness Stud, had a foal that had just died, and he happened to mention that to us. So we got the mare and the foal together and fostered the foal onto the mare. He's very happy now with his new mum. So a fantastic result under difficult circumstances. But he's a nice foal. He's got plenty of nice bit of length to him. Again, one we're very pleased with.
And Peltzer's dam sire is elusive quality. I mean, he sired super 2-year-olds, Group 1 winning 2-year-olds such as Camarilla and Sepoy and so many others that too long a list to name here. I mean, he's probably underrated as a broodmare influence.
Obviously, I did have a lot to do with elusive quality while I was working for Darley. What I'd say elusive quality does is he gives them speed. You've just mentioned Sepoy, certainly one of the best 2-year-olds of my lifetime by elusive quality. Elusive quality was an excellent stallion and has left a wonderful sire son in Quality Road in America. But I do think that was the one thing that he really imparted upon them above all else was speed. It's a cliche to say that if he has foals like him, we'll be in good shape. But that's when you've got a horse that looks like Peltzer, you've got a better chance to get foals that are good looking than other stallions. So he's just beautiful.
And it all matters for obviously racing on the racetrack, but we're really looking forward to the little journey with our little filly, the little Megamore filly towards the sales ring and beyond, and all the other foals as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And she's very much her father's daughter. It's lovely to watch them when they're born, lovely to watch them develop, and you hope that they continue to go in the right direction, and I'm sure she will.
Looking at the effect, first of all, of Peltzer's dam sire elusive quality, and it is pure speed. While his stakes winners have won past 2,800 metres, his sweet spot for successful produce is 1,200 metres, including July Cup winners Alcohol Free and 10 Sovereigns, Oakley Plate winner Portland Sky and Hong Kong star Skyfield. Plus he is, of course, also sire of 2 Group 1 winning Australian 2-year-olds Sepoy and Camarilla. Some fascinating statistics regarding Peltzer's sire, So You Think. Mares by his best Nick's Tail of the Cat, Testarossa, Choisir, Zabeel and Redout's Choice have around a 2 to 4% stakes winners to runners percentage. But when they go to So You Think, that increases from between 11 to 25%. So You Think is upgrading some mares by almost 900% when they produce stakes winners. Quite outstanding and auguring well for a young sire son such as Peltzer.